info on my setups with the Castle ESCs. I have 5 helicopters running with Castle stuff, and pretty much all the same setups. I have a couple of ICE 75s, an HV 85 on my T-Rex 600, and Ice Light 50 on my 450 Pro. I'm going to use a T-Rex 500 for this little video. It's probably the best setup. This is one of the first ones that I really got to tuned out perfect. Got the auto rotate enable set up pretty good. So I'll show you guys how I did it, and we'll get moving through that. All right. Now, when you first put the controller in, you have to set it for the, you have to set the endpoints. And so I'll go ahead and go in and make sure I'm on the right model, T-Rex 500, that's correct. So you have to have a linear curve to do this. So this is the curve that I run on my normal mode. When you're using the set RPM, you have to have a flat line, or at least the settings between 0 and 49. So I have it set right now for 15 on the low, 30 on the next, then 30 in the middle, and 30 on the high. That way I can use the throttle trim to arm the ESC when you're in set RPM mode with the auto rotate enabled. So I'll go ahead and set this up for a linear curve right now. So we'll go clear, 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 clear. Okay, so that's a linear curve, and now we'll be able to set the throttle endpoints on the ESC. So let me go ahead and plug the controller in and set it up for fixed endpoints. Okay, I have the controller plugged in, so I'll go up here to throttle type. And what I'm going to do right now, just because I like the way this is set up, I'm going to save these settings so that I can just go right back to them. Make a new folder for this 500. And we'll call it goods. Alright, now I'll go up. When you first get the controller, it'll be in airplane mode. We want to go to helicopter, obviously, and fixed endpoint. And that's all you really need to do. Now, brakes disabled, cutoffs are set. Other, you can set your BEC voltage. I have mine set for 6. And the motor type, Outrunner. And I have Outrunner working good on this. I know Castle says not to, but both of my 500s have Outrunner mode, and they both seem to be working pretty good. So now we'll disconnect and we'll start with the... Okay, I've got the radio all set to program the throttle endpoints. An important safety feature or trick you should do when you go to do this with any helicopter, most any helicopter you're working indoors, you should back the motor away from the main gear. So that's what I've done. It's kind of crucial for this setup just because you do need to arm the motor, and you may spin the motor. I'm going to on this just so that you guys can see how the auto rotate enable feature works. So having that motor backed away and secured to the motor mount keeps it safe. Okay, so I have the radio's endpoints, throttle endpoints set for 80 and 84. I know that both of these endpoints are up above 100. If you're doing it for the first time, start at 50 in the middle and then work your way out. So we'll plug the helicopter in now. You have to have the throttle stick all the way up, and that's going to tell the ESC you're entering the throttle program mode. So, and then we'll just go on the high one, and we'll just bring it up until the ESC gives us a beep. So it was at 97, so we'll bring it up to 100. And then we bring the stick all the way down. And then we start to bring the low point up. It was around 140. So 138, might as well go the 2 clicks to 140. All right, so now the ESC should be armed and the motor should spin. So if I bring the throttle stick up, there it goes. All right. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're going to go back in and turn the controller to the set RPM, and we'll set the set RPMs up.